Hello, welcome back to another Fabulous Hero channel. I'm Jake from Jacob's Book Square. Today we're talking about my April wrap-up. That's what this month is. And I read about 18 to 19 books. Hopefully it's 20 by the end of the month, but no promises. And so yeah, we're gonna go through all of them and such. I'm really excited about it. So if there is a book on here that I've read and it's going to be popping up in a different video, or it's going to be popping up in a video that's already happened, I'll tell you what video that is, and I'll be linked down below in case you want to see more of my full thoughts and opinions. Alright, we're going to go into a order that I read them in chronologically, and then I think we have 2 to 3 titles that will be popping up on the screen at the very end. And so we'll get to those also. The first book I picked up in the month of April was The Last Song. I read The Last Song specifically for my reread slash adaptation that I'm doing for Nicholas Sparks. Me and my mom are. Every week we read a new Nicholas Sparks. The month of April was so jam-packed that I kind of took that month off, but starting next month in May, back to it. I'm really excited to reread some of these books, and The Last Song just happened to be a dud. The Last Song in particular was a book that I didn't really like the first time, and I still didn't like the second time. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I personally just liked the adaptation better, even though I don't like the adaptation. I'd say it's probably my weakest adaptation that I personally have really any nostalgia connection to, and so not my favorite thing in the world, but also I would not recommend it, but I would recommend choosing one or the other. The next one we're going to talk about is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is book 1, The Last Hour, sequel series to The Infernal Vices, and so basically I can't tell you shit. Just know that there will be a full-on spoilery vlog coming for this book in a near future near you. Not the next one, but I think the one after that is Chain of Gold, and I didn't really like this. I think I ended eventually giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's a 3.5 to a 4. I think I would still probably rate it to a 4 on Goodreads, but this was just not my cup of tea around. I think this is a book I definitely am going to have to go back and reread eventually. I mean, I'm planning on rereading them all. We will see how I feel by the end, but I have a feeling this is just not going to be my favorite in the first books in Cassandra Clare trilogies, which is fine. The next 8 books that we're going to be talking about, I'm going to once again be talking kind of vaguely. 2 of these books pop up in my 5-hour vlog, and then all 8 of these pop up in my 24-hour readathon vlog, which I'll link both those down the videos down below. The first one is All Things Cease to Appear by Elizabeth Bernadette. The movie is out now. It's called Things Heard and Seen, and it's on Netflix. I picked this up because of Netflix picture. This follows a family who moves into a farm after a horrible crime happens, and they buy the farm without knowing, and then another horrible crime happens, and it's basically like a murder mystery, except it's not, and it's annoying, and I hate it. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. The next one also has its own separate video. Science vs. Homo sapiens Agenda by Becca Talley. I reread this for my discussion book that I have every month, where I sit down and I reread a book from a few years past and a book that I really liked and see if I still enjoy it, and basically give you a non-spoiler how I feel about it today. And the answer was I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did not love this as much as the first 2 times I read it prior to the event of this reread. It's a mixed bag here. I don't really like it, but I do have a whole video talking about it where I'll point you to instead. The next one, I read a kid's book not for kids, and that is Frankie K. Stein, Mad Scientist. This is number 2 since it was the one we had in the library. This is written by Jim Benton. Like I said, this is not for children in my opinion. I think there's a lot of things in here that would be really funny, but especially in that 24-hour readathon vlog, which I'll point you over for this one since I did not read it, I really talk about the reasons why I don't think it is for children, at least not young children. The next one is Harley Quinn Breaking the Glass by Mariko Tamiyaki and art by Steve Pugh, and I really like this. This is a 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Harley Quinn. She is 15. She is in Gotham City. She is traveling to Gotham City after leaving her parents to go live with, his name is called Grandma? I could be wrong. It's been a while since I read this. I did that 24-hour readathon about the middle month, so it's been a little bit, but I really did like it, and I really like the representation here. I think that was phenomenal, and I did like some of the conversations based off movies and also clubs in school, environmental stuff, but also some of the stuff fell flat, which is why I eventually did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. But if you're thinking about picking up a DC graphic novel for teens, I would definitely lean more towards this one than some of the other ones I've read. It does have a blue tint, so just be aware of that in case you hate it as much as I, and I hate it. The next one, and that is The Shadowlight Chronicles by Tony DiZarelli and Holly Black. This is book 1, The Field Guide, and I also read this in that 24-hour readathon vlog. I don't think I read it. If I did, I'll throw it up on the screen. I really don't remember. And it really just was, if I read the first 6 books, I think I would really like it. Because I read the first book, I didn't really like it. Does that make sense? I still have plans on continuing the series because this is really just a prologue in my opinion, and so I want the meaty gritty. So I really liked it by the end, but I just wanted more, and not I wanted more now. now, but more like a why isn't there more? It is made for children, I do understand that. The next one we're going to talk about is The Palace of Wisdom, Nancy Drew. This is about Nancy as she comes back to her hometown after not being able to solve a murder, or a crime, I guess, when she was 13 years old. And she is now 17. She has new friends at the beginning of the book, and then they kind of disappear, so don't worry about them. I really like the diversity here. I also really like the representation all across the board here. I did not enjoy the art style. I think it kind of sucked in my opinion. I also didn't care for the ship. I also didn't really care for the mystery. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory and kind of annoying that they didn't think I'd figure it out. I also don't tend to enjoy the revamps of these specific old books and or old comics. I read a lot of Archie, when they redid Archie comics. I hated those. I hated the Tom Hardy Boy ones. I don't like the Nancy Drew ones, and so I won't pick it up. I was just genuinely curious and ended up being a dud for me. The next one I picked up was Doubt. This is volume 1. This is created by Yoshi Hodogari. This is about 16 who get brought up into a building, and they have to play like a game of cat and mouse, essentially. They wake up and they have barcodes on their wrists and stuff, and every barcode brings in a new room, and they have a certain amount of time to escape that building while people are dying off around them. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I highly recommend. It's a duology, and I'll surely be picking up the second book in May. I picked up The Flight Attendant by Chris Bohajalian, and this follows Cassie as she wakes up after she murdered someone, and you're kind of figuring out why he died and who, and did she do it? Fun fact, you find out really early on the second question, but the first question is a mystery. And I did not like this. I did mention that 5-star vlog, so I'll recommend you there. Me at a different time would really enjoy this, but me now really did not like this. I ended up giving it like a 2 out of 5 stars. It didn't work for me. I highly recommend you go watch a TV show that is an HBO Max original. If you have HBO Max in your country, or if you don't, I recommend you get a VPN so you can get HBO Max since it is a phenomenal streaming service. I would recommend The Flight Attendant because it is phenomenal content. I really like the television show. The book it's based on is not trash, it's not great. The next set of books I have to talk about, I did do a whole video on, so I'll point you over there since I read them and I gave you all my details, and so I'll just write them here. And that is The Shadow Bone, the first 3 books in the Grisha verse. Shadow and Bone, which was a perfect 5 out of 5. Legion Storm, which was a 4 out of 5. And then Ruin and Rising, which was a 4.5 out of 5. I love this series. I highly recommend. The TV show is out on Netflix, in case you didn't know. And if you didn't have you moving underneath the rock, you can check it out. I will have a video coming soon when I figure out how to film it of me watching it, which I'm very excited. And then I picked up the first book in the Six of Crows duology called Six of Crows. And this video will be coming out in some point in May when I read this in Cricket Kingdom together. And I personally really just did not enjoy this book. I think I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. I might have ended up eventually giving it a 4 if I'm not mistaken by the end. I just didn't really like it. I'll have more thoughts and opinions and stuff inside that video. This one follows 6 characters as they have to pull on a heist in the Grisha verse. And that's The Red Squirrels of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. I love this book. I can't tell you a damn thing about this book without spoiling shit. Just know that I adored it, and if you've been nervous to pick it up and you're part of the Shadowverse, go ahead, it's calling to you. You deserve it. Trust me. This was a 5 out of 5. This is one of my favorite books in the Shadowhunter universe, and I feel very confident about saying that. I have a feeling the Elder Scrolls trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies in the Shadowhunter universe, and I love it. So technically, I should be done with this today. When you see this video, it's going up beforehand. I should be done with it. I think it's gonna be a 5, so I'm gonna put it as a 5 in this video. Currently, I'm only 100 pages in, and that is the sequel, The Last Book of the Light by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Once again, can't tell you shit about it, but I'm also thoroughly enjoying it. Right now, it's definitely a 5. I'm enjoying the writing. I love the characters. I just really enjoy it. And there will be a whole video, spoilerly fashion, talking about both these books. Both of them are in a non-spoiler review as well in that video, in case you've not read them, so it's going to be a mixture of both. And that'll be coming out a little bit later on. If you guys did, please let me know what you guys read in the comments down below. Did you guys have a good reading month? I wasn't expecting to have a good reading month, to be honest with you. I'm really impressed with myself. I'm really happy with myself. And so I hope that it extends to you guys as well. If you guys did, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time for another beautiful video. Thank you for watching. Love you guys.